So guys, this is my last concluding video of this series in which I will be covering about dealing with this condition through stress management, exercise, nutrition and all lifestyle modifications which will help us to live a better and long life. Also, I want to add to this that we will not discuss about the surgical and medical procedures in our video. See, only a qualified doctor can help you with this. I'm just a fitness trainer who has an enthusiasm of learning about human body. So we will be covering more about nutrition, exercise, lifestyle and everything which is related with your day-to-day life, which can help you to prevent this condition. Let's cover the nutrition part first. Earlier in my previous video, I had discussed about oxidation of LDL, which is responsible for further progression of the lesion. So in this case, antioxidant rich foods becomes really important as they decrease the chance of further progression. So always have antioxidant rich food. These antioxidant rich food will neutralize those unstable free radicals by donating an electron to stable them. Now, what are the foods and how much antioxidants do we need per day? Over the past few decades, many methods had been developed to measure the antioxidant capacity of any substance or any food. But I did not find any of those methods that can tell us the accurate number. There is something called the ORAC unit. The full form is oxygen radical absorbance capacity, which mostly people use to measure the antioxidant capacity of any food. But we are still unclear whether it is an acceptable unit or not. So we will not focus on the numbers. All we know is which has the highest value or which has lowest through these various methods. Ultimately, what matters is that we finally know that which food contains high amount of antioxidants and which food has minimal amount. So the number one ingredient which comes into my list is my favorite, coffee. Yes, my friend. Many people will say to you that coffee is bad for the heart patient. But the research clearly says that it does not affect your heart. In fact, it is beneficial for heart patients. This coffee has the highest value of antioxidants per cup if we compare it to any other food. Yes, tea is also rich in antioxidants, and I'm not talking only about green tea, but all types of tea. Please, for God's sake, don't link green tea with weight loss. That's bullshit. Apart from coffee, there is something in our kitchen which is the richest source of antioxidants, and that are spices. And I mean all the spices like chili, turmeric, cumin, cloves, cinnamon. Every spices in our kitchen is like a treasure of antioxidants. So we Indians are so lucky that we have these treasures and Westerners don't have this privilege. So please don't be afraid of these spices. They are not going to harm you. Dark chocolate or cocoa is rich in antioxidants. If you are having dark chocolate, make sure you have above 90% cocoa. A piece of that bitter chocolate is actually good for you. There are many other foods rich in antioxidants like some berries, nuts and veggies. They can nowhere stand if compared with spices, coffee, tea and dark chocolates. So we will discuss about only those food which are easily accessible to us in India. We should not be worrying about antioxidants because we have plenty of them. As I said earlier that vitamin E is also an antioxidant. Along with that, it has various other functions which we will not discuss here. I will bring a dedicated video on vitamins and minerals. As of now, keep in mind these food sources which are rich in vitamin E, like some nuts and seeds, almonds, peanuts, sunflower seeds. These are rich sources of vitamin E. Yeah, but make sure that do not ever roast these nuts and seeds. I would always recommend to have it in raw form because oils rich in vitamin E like wheat germ, almond oil can turn rancid when it is exposed to air. Same thing can happen when you heat these nuts and seeds. So always have them in raw form. Along with that, vitamin C is also an antioxidant, which you will get it from your green veggies, chili, lemon, etc. Carotene is also an antioxidant, which is a pigment. The most common we all know is carrot. Also, some dark leafy and cruciferous vegetables are rich in carotenoids. Egg yolks gets its color, that yellow color, due to carotenoids. That is one of the best source. There are some good antioxidant supplements like alpha lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10, glutathione, from which this alpha lipoic acid has multiple benefits which can be taken as a supplement. This red wine also contains some antioxidants, therefore in moderation it may benefit you. But remember that only light to moderate level of alcohol consumption is proven to be good in various studies. But very heavy consumption of alcohol is obviously not good for your liver, as well as it is proven in some studies that it interferes with nitric oxide production in your blood vessels and damage your arterial walls. We had also discussed earlier about nitric oxide, which is responsible for vasodilation of the arteries, means widening of the arterial wall, is important for lowering the arterial blood pressure and steady blood flow. As we discussed earlier, that oxygen-derived free radicals neutralizes nitric oxide, hence vasodilation does not happen. So to prevent this neutralization, we again require antioxidants. There are some foods and supplements apart from Viagra which can increase the production of nitric oxide, like beetroot, good for your erection, gentlemen. This is a kind of a natural Viagra. Garlic, not that good for your breath, but beneficial for your sexual performance. Amino acids like L-arginine, which converts into nitric oxide, supplements like citrulline malate. I want to mention one thing, that whatever supplements I'm talking about, don't consume directly without asking your doctor. Until and unless you are an athlete and your trainer has suggested you one for some reasons, like citrulline malate, which works better for athletes. Your body increases production of nitric oxide if you exercise regularly. So gentlemen, as we discussed earlier, that clogged artery can interfere with your penile erection. It becomes dysfunctional. So high levels of nitric oxide can benefit you for better sexual performance through proper erection. Obviously, if the blood vessels are widened, there would be more blood flow, hence better erection of the penis. One more thing, unlike vasodilation, vasoconstriction is also important for your body. Though we will not discuss that right now, but please don't think that it is useless. Always remember that any functionality of your body is not useless. It does it for some purpose. We also talked about diabetes mellitus being one of the reasons for this condition. Okay, so for that, understand that it's not only the sweet thing which you have to avoid, it's the carbohydrates which you have to make sure that it's not going out of the limit. And yes, for diabetic patients, exercise is very important. Please exercise regularly. We have already covered about cholesterol in detail. Obesity is the main factor related with raised cholesterol levels. If you have a congenital condition, which I had discussed earlier, it is manageable through proper diet, lifestyle changes and therapeutic treatment, which is an expertise of doctor. Hence, I have no recommendation on it. Now, let's finally talk about this HDL, the good cholesterol, the so-called good cholesterol. HDL plays an important role to bring back the excessive cholesterol floating around back to the liver. That can be increased by several ways. Number one, exercise regularly. Number two, reducing your blood sugar level by changing your dietary habits. Number three, reducing your body fat again through dietary habits and exercise. Number four, avoid hydrogenated oil or trans fat, which does not exist in nature. They are pre-oxidized and very harmful, like this dalda and all these oils. Number 5, stay away from smoking and excessive toxic environment. Number 6, polyunsaturated fats, which many people don't know. It tends to oxidize rapidly when it is exposed to open air due to its chemical structure. It turns rancid very quickly, so it is better to have monounsaturated rich fats like olive oil, and of course no fat comes to the match of saturated fats if we talk about its plenty of benefits. So please consume ghee or butter without worrying about LDL. Number 7. Some studies also suggest that niacin, which is vitamin B3, plays a role in increasing the production of HDL. However, these studies also concluded that increased level of HDL does not prevent the risk of cardiovascular disease. Hence, we cannot consider this as a treatment. The optimal level of HDL, high density lipoprotein, should be around 60 mg per deciliter. Again, I am repeating, increasing your HDL does not mean decreasing your LDL. Okay, I already covered it in my previous video, so please watch it if you haven't yet. Apart from this, there are other measures for treating this condition that can be taken as a consideration. Many research says that hyperlipidemia are manageable with omega-3 fatty acids, which is helpful in managing atherosclerosis. Though there are still many researches going on, but keep in mind that omega-3 are essential fatty acids which one must add in their diet through seafoods, nuts like walnuts, seeds like flax seeds, etc. These are some good food sources of omega-3. It can be also taken through supplements as well. Uptake of vitamin B9, folate, for high homocysteine levels, as we had already discussed in short about this in my previous video. You should be having a good multivitamin supplement instead. Follow the recommendation of your doctor. Now the lifestyle part. We had also discussed that there are certain virus and bacteria which can interfere with the endothelial health. So make sure that you always maintain your hygiene, wash your hands frequently, wear masks, and take other preventive measures to fight with it, like which you are doing it right now to avoid COVID-19 disease. So as I discussed in my previous video about smoking, avoiding smoking is not the only thing you should do. Avoid pollutions. All the toxins are coming inside our body through every breath which we take. So contribute to your environment by not creating pollutions. Do wear pollution masks every time you go out. As I said in my previous video that age plays a major factor in further development of this disease. So as you age, it becomes mandatory for you to exercise for your well-being and longevity. So please approach your parents, your elders to start exercising. If you want to take care of your elders, inspire them to start their exercise for their better health. Exercise is very important in old ages. Avoid sedentary lifestyle. Stay active. It's very important in today's world full of technologies and gadgets, as nowadays we do not wash clothes with hands or walk from one city to another. We have so many mediums to facilitate us, hence the purpose of this human body, which is locomotion, is lacking behind, which leads to so many problems. So please exercise every day under proper guidance. It's a must. Lifestyle and also your dietary habits plays a major role. Let's come to the final part, how to deal with stress. So in my previous video, I had directly linked hypertension with stress. Actually, hypertension or high blood pressure is linked with so many things which I almost covered in my series, but the reason why I directly link this with stress is because we are nowadays getting aware of fitness lifestyle. We are trying to lose weight. We are trying to eat healthy. Also we know smoking and alcoholism is bad for us, but what we are not aware of, or maybe we are ignoring that pressure which comes in our life starting from the morning till the end of the day, which keeps us awake, ruin our relationship, makes us frustrated personality, and so on. That is where we have to work more. So that's why when it comes to hypertension, we somehow know what measures we have to take to avoid this circumstance. But in majority, we don't work on the stress part. As I said earlier, that hypertension or hypotension are extensive topic to discuss. Hence, let's just not go into that detail and simply jump on to how to deal with it. Talking about improving yourself as a person, always try to stay calm. Do not panic. Do not react in situations where you feel it is unnecessary to waste energy. I would personally recommend that if you feel lonely, depressed, stressed, always nervous, anxious, insomniac, please consult to a doctor, and yes, always consult to a general physician first. That doctor might further recommend you to any specialist or a psychiatrist if needed. Don't ever become your own doctor and do not take their job lightly. See, it takes a lot of years and sacrifices to become a doctor, so always trust. But also never be afraid to ask them questions if any questions arises in your mind. Always talk to people and build a good relationship with everyone. No one is your enemy. Every emotion is within us, whether if it is hatred, anger, ignorance. We all are humans. It's natural, but never let your negative emotions control your personality. Food can relieve stress, but there are negative effects too. If you have chronic hypertension, it can lead you to sudden weight gain. It's because when we eat some sugar or any food which we like the most, it releases some happy hormones like dopamine, endorphins, and we want this kind of feeling all the time. Now, this feeling can also be experienced after a hardcore workout session. So, exercise is very important treatment for dealing with hypertension. This stress increases your appetite. So, the cortisol, which is a stress hormone, is very much important for your body. But chronic stress can lead you to high level of cortisol, which means fastening your metabolic rate that also signals your brain to replenish energy. So, we crave more to eat. Also, these foods containing sugars makes us feel happy and comfortable because it releases some happy chemicals that actually suppresses cortisol. If we are not dealing with the cause, this cycle is going to repeat again and again. Simply eating to feel good is actually going to lead you to obesity. So we must find another way to reduce our stress levels, like exercise and meditation. Also, I would like to mention that sugar is an addiction, and it is much more addictive substance than cocaine. Stress response is very much important for us. It helps us to take emergency decisions. It increases your attention, focus when you do your exercise or playing a competitive sports, or either you have to speak in front of thousands of people. It's very much important for our survival. It's like you are facing a lion and you either have a choice to fight or to run away. But nowadays, that lion is in front of you 24/7, which leads to chronic stress disorder. So cortisol is not bad. It's essential, but as I said earlier, that anything in excess can lead you to complications. And along with your heart, chronic stress can affect your brain as well as your memory negatively. This is for all students who are preparing for exams. See, whatever you are studying, please never give up with your exercises during your exams. Mark my words. That will really help you to deal with your stressful situation. Also, good sex life is a must with your partner. Do not take it as a taboo. We human beings are reproductive animals, and our ultimate goal is to pass on our genes to next generation. All these things are interconnected, so stress can lead you to lack of motivation. It can further lead you to sedentary lifestyle and poor sex life. Improving even any one of it may bring a good change in your lifestyle. It's a sad part that in our society, people are ashamed of talking about sex freely. In fact, all the youngsters who are watching my video, who are about to hit their puberty, please talk freely about sex. Start with your teacher, your parents. Don't be shy. I'm sure they will guide you through, because in this stage you go through so many changes in your body and even your thinking. It's very natural, so don't be afraid. And I also want to request to all the parents, understand that we all had been through this phase of life. Your child needs your help and guidance. Don't become the enemy. Guide them as a good friend and show them the right path to deal with it. Educate them about this change. Don't avoid this discussion. In fact, both the parties should take part in this healthy discussion. Having a good sex life with your partner can also decrease the chance of hypertension. When it comes to sex, many people take that as a taboo in our society, but please understand that improving your sex life is one of the key to your successful relationship as well as longevity. Though we are not going to discuss in detail about this, but someday I will definitely cover this topic in detail because it is very important aspect of life. Last but not the least, eat sugar. Yes, it's what I'm saying after all of these explanation, but in limit. You must enjoy your life to get rid of stressful life. But remember what I said in my previous video. Anything excessive can lead you to complications. So enjoy your life, eat with your family, but draw a line of your limit and never ever abuse your body. It's the precious thing you have gifted by nature, so take care of it. Alright guys, so if you have reached this far, then you do have a lot of patience in your life. So if you like my content, please hit the like button. If there is something which I missed, or if you have any suggestions, please write down on my comment section. Also, don't forget to share my content. I hope that this information will help you and all other people who are seeking for help. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. I will be posting contents like this on a regular basis. Thank you so much.